Steve Sander, and we're talking about Clear Light Community, which is part of Song of the Morning yoga and meditation retreat. And the same 800 acres also encompasses Clear Light Community, and I'm talking with Carol Armour, who is very central to the operation of Clear Light Community, as well as the yoga meditation retreat. But just want to catch up on the latest news because people are always asking questions, right, Carol, about what the latest news is from the community and how we're doing and what are the numbers and things like that. So you go ahead and uh, actually, I'm going to take a little space here just because this is our first broadcast. I just want to make sure that we are actually broadcasting on the air and make sure we're live because you never know. Yes, we are live. Okay, great. And I'm going to check also YouTube. I think we're also live on that. So if I did anything right today, we are live on both channels. How about that? Okay. So I will edit that part out eventually, but we are live right now for now. So do what is the latest of the community? Or should we do some of the history first? Just the background
Well,
of
you
what.
what would you like to know? There's a lot to be said, obviously. So, what would you
Um,
like to
uh,
know?
well, when did you? Okay, let's go right back to the foundation. When did you first hear Yogacharya talking about spiritual communities, or even hear by
Well,
yourself
of
of the idea?
course, those of us that have been with him since the 70s or before, the 60s or the 50s at the Detroit Self-Realization Fellowship Center, uh, knew that Paramahansa Yogananda had asked him to develop a retreat away from the city, and he had a wonderful 800-acre property that he used for that. And he developed first the retreat where we had the meditations and activities and so on, but he always talked about Master's idea of a world brotherhood colony. Now, it's not as easy to start a residential area as it might be to open a place where you can have some hatha classes and meditation. So it took a bit of time to do that. Yogacharya passed on in 1989, and the official start of the community was not till the year 2000. There was a lot
Okay.
of legal work, a lot of zoning work, all of that sort of thing. However, there never seemed to be a lack of people interested in the project because what it did is it allowed people who were serious about their spiritual life and spiritual development through the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda a place to get together and support each other. A place where they have a meditation in the evenings and services on Sunday and so on. So once we got going leasing lots one by one by one, we're at the point where of our total availability of about 71 lots, we have well over 40 leased right now.
Okay.
And
Do you know the exact number that are
it's hard
leased?
to say because as we lease lots, some of them are leased from people who realize they're not going to be able to build. So they release a lot.
I see.
Their lot is assigned to a new person. So certainly 45, 46, 47, but there's a few less of the ones that have never been leased,
Okay,
if
so
that makes sense to you.
that's more than half
Oh,
are already
definitely,
spoken.
definitely. And so, to me, the exciting thing about the community is like anything else, you have to give it time to happen. I hope you don't mind my dog on my shoulder here.
No, that's fine. We're
You have
casual
to,
today.
uh, you have to allow it time to allow it to happen. So the houses, which is a bit more complicated because it takes money and time to build a house. It takes people moving. We have people in our community from pretty much all over the country and Canada as well. So if you're moving from California or Texas or Florida or any of the other Arizona, of the other places where our community members come from, it may take you a time to figure out how you're going to do that. Sometimes people have a second home here, but by and large, most people, this would be their primary home here.
And how many houses are built with people living in them, right?
Okay,
As of now,
right
what is
now
the
we have
number?
19 of
Ta-da!
those.
19 is the number.
19 of those. And every year we have one for sure going up next year, and
Okay.
several that are close enough that probably will, but I can't give you a number until
Okay.
the year comes.
Okay.
It's a more complicated time to build right now. I think everyone knows because prices have gone up and so on. So we'll see next year
Right.
how many of those houses join us on the property.
Okay. So yeah, people love to know the numbers of how many houses there are, and then out of 19 people or 19 houses with residents, how many people does that total up to?
We have
I,
do you know Richard? Can you sit down here and get on the
yeah,
picture?
Richard
Yeah,
Armour,
get in the picture, Richard, if you
Carol,
can.
Carol and Richard Armour, who are
You might have to stand up. You can't be seen, Richard. Or go where Ponton is behind me so that he can. We can't see you, Richard. Anyway, but one thing, Steve, that I think has been interesting watching to get the project off the ground, you really need a lot of faith because it happens slowly. In fact, a quote from Yogacharya, our founder, is that spiritual things grow slowly. So, in other words, don't give up on it, let it happen. But one house at a time, to where now we're out of that initial phase with this many new people on the property. It's a time when a lot more can happen. People are volunteering to do a lot of things that extends the of what our staff of the retreat can do. So many people can only do so much, and they're jumping into programs and so on. So it's an exciting time. It's also exciting for new people coming because since this is earlier stage of development of the whole property, they have more of a chance to jump in with something that they might be able to offer than if it was a everything's already done sort of thing. So it's been nice. Another new thing that has been happening, we've always had a leaseholders association, but now
right.
because we have more people on the property, it's much more active, which again offers more chances for people to jump in and do things that they might want to do. So it's quite an active and nice time to be here right now.
All right. What is the association between the community and the retreat? I know some of the things, but I'm sure
Oh,
you know
sure.
more than I
Okay.
do.
Okay. If you have a lease in the community, okay, if you have a lease, then you are a member of the leaseholders association.
Okay.
Now, the structure of the retreat is that Golden Lotus Incorporated runs the entire 800-acre retreat. The Clear Lake Community Management Company runs the community, and the
Right.
association has uh, what do I say? The piece that is carved out for them is they create activities to enhance both the spiritual life and just the activities here for the people who either live here or come
Yeah.
here.
And
For example,
okay, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Let me give a couple examples. Number one, as we are a group of meditators, we now have every Tuesday morning we have a 3 hour meditation available that people can come on the hour or stay the 3 hours. Added to our evening meditations, if you're not available, it gives you a choice. And then there's any number of activities that get planned that is planned more and more by our members of the association. It's really nice.
Right.
It helps the retreat staff. It also helps the management company that pretty much has its hands full in keeping the project going. So
Right.
uh, this is a good time to be here.
So you have activities like, say, hatha yoga classes. You have meditations. You have activities. I know there's activities coming up for Christmas, but are these the duties divided up between the community and the retreat? How do they? How does that? How does do they work together pretty
Well,
much?
absolutely.
Or
We all
I'm part of
know
it too.
each
We
other.
work together. I know we work together. I want to hear your viewpoint on it.
Well, let me give you a little idea of how easy that is to do nowadays. Everyone on the Golden Lotus Board of Directors, okay, and everyone on the Clear Light Community Management Company that runs the community is also a leaseholder. So, how
Right.
easy does that make it to coordinate things?
Right. Although the committees are separate.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they have separate mandates, absolutely.
Right.
And that's what it's a new thing for us, and I think we're doing rather well with it myself.
And we have a retreat manager, and we have an association committee, and we have a management board, and who coordinates all this with the activities between the community and the retreat.
Well, our retreat manager, Justine, is in constant communication with any other activity on the property that's going to use retreat facilities, obviously, because it has
Right.
to be fit into the schedule. So that
Right.
goes without saying.
Right.
Okay. And so far, the important thing is to make sure, because we're getting so busy, that sometimes you can't help but plan activities on the same weekend. So I think that is
Right.
something that going forward, right now, both Golden Lotus and Clear Light Community will set its agenda for the next year, uh, the fall before. However, that still is all the other activities, not
Right.
only of the association, but we have GLIDA, our Golden Lotus Hatha Yoga Teachers Association, that is
Right.
becoming very, very active with workshops here. And we also have a spiritual direction council that is all year round adding more activities to what we're doing. So you
Right.
might say at this point we're in that growing phase where there's a lot of moving parts getting us um, I guess more
Right.
bigger and more options and
I know, and this all
whatever.
grew from some a fairly casual um, routine back in the old days when it was just you started an evening meditation with Yogacharya, and it was
Yeah.
very very simple back then. And now we have more people, and we have more activities, and it's growing. Is I guess is the bottom line.
Well, we're very fortunate, Steve, that we were started with a Yogacharya Oliver, very deeply developed spiritual man and disciple of
Yeah.
Yogananda, who could set the
Right.
tone. And
Right.
night after night, he would talk about the future and kind of set our own direction, so that uh, after he was gone, the whole rest of us have been carrying it on.
Right. And that brings to mind that Yogacharya Oliver Black was a self-realization fellowship minister,
Yes,
appointed by his guru Paramahansa Yogananda,
yes.
and we still have we always have had good relationship with self-realization fellowship. And some people might want to know how. Are we having a monastic visit? I know we will be having one, but do we know the
We don't
when
know
that?
when the next one is, but throughout
Okay.
the years, I think the longest I remember is a 5 year span between visits.
Right.
Sometimes they were every 3 years. It just depends. Self
Right.
realization fellowship is growing quite rapidly, and we have to fit into their availability to be able to come here. I believe it
Yeah.
was in, if I get the year right, 2022, that we had an SRF regional retreat here on the property, which was very
Right.
nice, and it's motivated us to get more serious about expanding our facilities, because when you have people, you
Right.
do have to have facilities. We met outdoors in tents because of the amount of people for that,
Right.
and we now have grand plans for on the Gold Lotus side. On the Gold Lotus side, grand plans for the expansion of retreat and the improvement of retreat facilities. And
Right.
on the Clear Light community management side, we're looking into what do we want for a community center as well.
Right.
So this is where our thoughts are now.
And we recently got a maintenance building, which was a huge boost
Yep.
to our helpful
Yep.
in our operations. Well, we want to talk about Community Day a little bit because that's a day that's dedicated to talking, meeting with the community and talking about the community. That's on July 4th, I believe. It is on
That's
July
right.
4th, Saturday. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. Every year since the year 2000, no, actually before the year 2000, as we were trying to let people know what we're all about, we've had a community day in summer. And over the years, we've done different things. Some years we invited home builders or green building or growing on your roof or different ideas that might be interesting to people who wanted to build and so on. What we did last year, though, is since we now have many houses built, we featured the smaller home because we had a lot of interest in it. So that if people wanted to come up and actually go into and talk to the homeowner and find out about the company they use and the process, they had a beautiful day to do that. And it was helpful to people to decide of how they're going to go about and who they might want to work with. So this year, since that was so successful, we're going to be doing something similar, going to people's houses and having them be available to people new who want to hear about it. We also will be having uh, meetings about other things, which are yet to be planned since we have a few months to do that. But there
Right.
may be a Zoom meeting in the morning so the people who aren't here have an opportunity to tune in to some things. I'll tell you one thing we did on a Zoom meeting one year at Community Day that was very interesting. I don't know if they're doing it yet in our state, but uh, in the computer generated houses that you can do nowadays was very interesting for people to look at and think of the idea, uh, is this something that will be ready for me to do by the time I get my house up in the community? So it was a
Okay.
wonderful presentation by one of our leaseholders. So we do, but if you have any thought of joining the community, that's the
Right.
day to come. You meet all the people. It always ends with a party of sorts in one of our uh, community members' houses, get a chance to get to know everybody. And of course, we have the dinner at the retreat at 5 and our wonderful end of every day, our 8 o'clock evening meditation at the lodge.
Right. And there are accommodations available at Song of the Morning Meditation, Yoga and Meditation Retreat. It's songofthemorning.org. And if you want to know more
Is it
about
.org or is it .com?
it's .org. The retreat side is .org.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
community side is somcommunity.com. So you can find out more about information. And is there
Okay.
anything else? I mean, I would like to do these updates once in a while because people, what other questions would people want to know, have answered about the community? We know where houses are being built. 19 homes. I didn't really know it was that many, but that's fantastic.
And let me say, Steve, that any person that joins the community, it just expands what we are so beautifully. And like another soul
Yeah.
joining with to grow with and learn with and going to God together. That's what we're about. Bottom line.
It is a remarkable group of people. I do have to say, I feel very fortunate to be living in the community, and I'm sure all of us feel that way. Anything else we want to mention before? I guess we always talk about when's our next meeting at all our meetings. So when can we talk again about maybe in a week or two? I'll get Carol online again and we can do an update of the latest news. Oh, Well, just maybe just a couple sentences about our Christmas activities that are coming up.
Oh, at the retreat.
That would be
Well,
at the retreat, yeah. But the community is
yes, this
involved
is
in
a
that,
retreat
in
activity.
helping
Yeah.
too.
But our association is very actively involved in volunteering and putting it together. But
Okay.
we've lately always celebrated the whole 12 days of Christmas, spanning from Christmas Day itself all the way till Paramahansa Yogananda's birthday on the 5th. And we have different activities every day, starting with a progressive dinner through the community on Christmas Day itself. Everyone's invited to it, following our 11 o'clock SRF meditation service at the retreat.
Okay.
So that will happen all day. And then every other day, there's activities, and you can find them out by going to the site that you just mentioned.
On the retreat side,
Yes, it's a retreat
songofthemorning.org.
activity.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
retreat activity, and as I say, the really, because of the growth of the retreat and the people on the property, we used to think of just the Clear Light community as a World Brotherhood colony of Paramahansa Yogananda. Now it's really the whole retreat because of the interflow between the community and the staff and the people that come and the activities. So it's really quite a wonderful way to think of it. It's a good project, and I hope you come and look at it.
Okay. Great. I'm wondering if we can meet again in a week or two, and we can continue on giving news updates. We can get more into the nitty gritty then. But this is a good background for those of you who are interested. You can find out actually more information on the community website about how, if you're interested in joining the community, and are there accommodations on the retreat side if you just want to come up and hang out, spend time at one of the many retreats that are mentioned on the website for the retreat side. Two websites. The retreat is songofthemorning.org, and the community is somcommunity.com. Okay, Carol, good to talk to you, and we'll do this again. Well, if you have any questions, this will be on Facebook and YouTube. You can leave a comment on the YouTube post or a comment on the Facebook post, and we'll go from there. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you, Steve.
I don't know how to end it. I can't find the button. Okay,
I
thank
have
you.
something that says hang up, Steve. I can do that. Would that help?
I don't know.
We try it. I'll try.
Let's see. Oh, I think there we go. Thanks, Carol. Bye bye.